Hello everybody and welcome to this very special history edition of the Dan Dawson Show. So my goal today is to teach you how Hitler and the Nazi Socialist Party actually took over Germany and Austria. A lot of people have this misconception that Hitler woke up one day and said, hey, I'm going to go buy 30,000 tanks. I'm just going to take these two countries. That's actually not how it happened. Understand, Hitler was voted into office in Germany. He was voted into office in Austria. And it's actually a very simple way he did this. Actually, at the time, it's an age-old thing. And it was ingenious of him to invoke it. But basically what Hitler did was he elevated one group of people over another group of people. You see, what Hitler did was he said, hey, Germans, you run down, because remember after World War I, the German economy was destroyed. People were starving. People were waiting in food lines. So what Hitler did was say, hey, this isn't your fault. This is the fault of the Jews. These Jews are oppressing you. They've been oppressing you for years and you just haven't noticed. You have to rise up and get into the streets and get rid of those Jews. You have to get rid of those Jews. So much so did this take effect in the German culture that when Hitler started rounding up the Jews, nobody really cared, nobody really noticed. They thought it was what the Jews had coming. So he elevated one group of people while marginalizing and prosecuting another, or persecuting another. That's one of his first steps. And it's just a small step. It helped him get a little bit of power. Not much, right? Thinking that's just a small step. The second thing the Nazi Socialist Party did was they implemented a social welfare reform program. So basically they said, hey, we're going to take care of you. The government's going to make sure you have everything you need. You need food? We got that. You need health care? We got that. And so it created a dependence on the government. Just one little small step, not much, right? And creating that, he made the people loyal to the government, whether they agree with him or not. Well, now if you disagree with the government, you could lose your food stamps, your rations, your health care, and now you're back on your own because you forgot how to be self-sufficient. A little part of the German Socialist, or the Nazi Socialist Party, propaganda. The next thing he did was he began to confiscate guns. And it's really smart the way he did this. He didn't come out and say, hey, we're going to take your guns because we want to control you. He came out and said, no, guns are detrimental to our society. He did this in Germany and in Austria. So he said, hey, we're going to create this registry. That way, we know where the guns are. And the bad guys can't get the guns. Well, after he created the registry, he came back, or the Nazi Socialist Party came back and said, hey, that's not working. We need to take the guns to get them out of society so people stop hurting themselves with these guns. So we got to get them. And the people went along with it, and a lot of people turned their guns in, others had them taken. Now the people were unable to defend themselves. So now you're completely reliant on this government structure that you can't defend yourself from. The next thing he did was actually brilliant. Brilliant. He went after the youth. He went after them in their schoolhouses. He went after them in colleges. And the way he did this was brilliant. He convinced them to turn against their parents. Your parents don't know what you're talking about. The Nazi Party does. The Nazi Party takes care of your parents. So who do you think knows what they're talking about? And so they would indoctrinate them. They sent in all these people to put ideas in kids' heads. And it used to be, I remember watching this elder Austrian lady speak about how he did it. He didn't allow the kids to view what's going on in school anymore. Or he didn't allow the parents to view what's going on in school anymore. So you couldn't go and sit in the classroom back then and you didn't know what was being taught to your child, what ideas they were coming home with, until it was too late because they're already fully indoctrinated. And they're out here, they were out in the streets doing the brown shirt thing, where if somebody came along with a different idea, they would stand in the back and shout them down. Well, why wouldn't they? The government takes care of all their needs. And even if they didn't agree with the government, it's not like they could have a way to defend themselves. So he took control of the youth. If you can grab the youth from a society, that's your society. And that's exactly how the Nazi Socialist Party took over Germany. Now, I'm not trying to draw any parallels between the Nazi Socialist Party and another socialist party that I know of today, but those are all the exact same party platforms. Every single one. There's no difference. There's no difference. If you don't think you're under threat from socialism, or you don't think you have a chance of ever becoming a Nazi, honestly, if you're agreeing with the Socialist Party now, the Liberal Party, the Democrat Party, whatever they want to call themselves, all you need to do now is put on an armband and start goose-stepping. Thank you for watching this episode of The Dan Dawson Show. I appreciate you free thinkers out there. Keep with it. Don't fall for it. Thank you.